Hi, everybody. It's Mr. Gray here. Thank you again for a fantastic but wet week. Hopefully, some clear skies next week and some sun. That would be great. I have a few announcements for you. So, open house is Thursday, March 5th. That's coming up in just a couple weeks from 6 to 7 p.m. I hope to see as many people there as possible. It's a great kind of celebration of the work your kids have done this year, and I hope to see you there. On Friday, March 6th, the day after, it's early dismissal, so the kids will be out at 1:05. And on that same day, there's a art and technology contest put on by the city of Irvine, where the submissions are due on the day after, Friday, March 6th. Spring conference signups should be live. I sent it out on the email and also on the updates page. If I requested a spring conference from you, you already received that communication from me. And so if you didn't hear from me about that, I'm not requesting one, but you can have one for any reason, big or small. You can come and chat. There's signups right there. And of course, if for some reason none of those signups work, just tell me that we can figure out a time. Please email me if you have some specific thing you want to talk about, just so I'm ready to give you the best possible answer. But otherwise, just sign up and we can have a chat as we're getting ready for the end of the school year already. So we're getting close to this kind of last piece here. In reading, really in all the subjects, we're working on some projects that are kind of extensions of what we're doing in class so that we can showcase them at open house. And so hopefully we get to see as many of these projects as we can get done in the next 2 weeks. There's quite a lot to do. The kids are reading books about the American Revolution. They're reading historical fiction books in book clubs. So they're going to do a little project about historical fiction and the books they're reading. So they're getting that together. In writing, the kids are working on an information book. They're writing something that they know a lot about that they're going to teach about with their books. That'll be a really neat project to see at the end. That one is going to be great. It's something that they're able to teach without any research. They're not going online to look up anything. It's just something they know about, they've experienced, they can talk about, and that's really fun. In math, the kids are working on this collaborative three-dimensional city where they're kind of measuring the volume of all the buildings that they're creating. So the kids are hard at work. They're finishing kind of their two-dimensional model right now, and then we're adding buildings next week, and then we're going to start putting them all together. We had a town council that set up the rules, and we've been chatting about how to stitch them all together. And so they're really working kind of collaboratively, but also quite creatively within their own little realm. And so, we'll try to get it done if we can, and hopefully we'll get it done in time. And it'll be on display at open house on March 6th. In social studies, there's two projects happening. So the first one is we're looking at the events leading up to the American Revolution. So kids are working with a partner and putting together this poster and newspaper about that. And then the second thing is an individual project where each of the kid has their own state. So every state, each kid has their own states. We're looking at 33 different states, and they're making a poster about it. There's one element of the project that they need your help with is they have to make a phone call to the state tourism hotline of that state. So they actually have to call that state and ask them questions about their state. But of course, the parent needs to be present for that phone call. And so they have to kind of work with you to schedule that time and figure it out based on time zones and all those things. So hopefully that is happening. Hopefully your kids have talked to you about that so they can schedule that and make that happen. But those are the two projects happening in social studies. The kids will have science lab, and this is DeMarco, and we'll talk about in class about where dead matter goes in ecosystem. And so we'll look at the different roles that animals play in the ecosystem, whether they are predators, scavengers, or decomposers. And then other than that, we'll meet with our second grade buddies next week. We'll play board games from this is Kovacs class on Friday. We're continuing physical fitness testing. The kids have already done 2 of the 5 physical fitness tests, with 3 more to go over the next month or so. And then they'll be able to redo it if someone's really missing out, they need another opportunity, we'll do that. But we're getting through. Next week we'll do the 3rd one, and then the 4th one, and then the mile run will come up after that. We're still working on our photography project. You don't need a device anymore, but we're kind of putting that together. Again, that's going to be up on display at open house. So you'll have a lot to see and a lot to celebrate. Your kids are working really hard. And that's been really fun to see them all working hard together to make these really great things. So we'll see you at open house, hopefully on Thursday, March 5th. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.